Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for today's Ishopanishad class. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Reading from the book Sri Ishopanishad, the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by His Divine Grace, Vishwaguru Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mantra 16. Pushanye Karshe Yamasurya Prajapatya Vyuharashmin Samoha Yatte Rupam Kalyanatamam Tatte Pashyami Yosavasau Purushah Soham Iti Soham Asmi. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays, so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead, like unto the sun, as am I. Purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. The living entities are also differentiated expansions of the Lord's self. And because some of them desire to be lords and imitate the Supreme Lord, He allows them to enter into the cosmic creation with the option to fully utilize their propensity to lord it over nature. Because of the presence of his parts and parcels, the living entities, the entire phenomenal world is stirred into action and reaction. Thus, the living entities are given full facilities to lord it over material nature, but the ultimate controller is the Lord Himself in His plenary feature as Paramatma, the Supersoul, who is one of the Purushas. Thus, there is a gulf of difference between the living entity, Atma, and the controlling Lord, Paramatma, the soul and the supersoul. Paramatma is the controller, and the Atma is the controlled. Therefore, they are in different categories. Because the Paramatma fully cooperates with the Atma, he is known as the constant companion of the living being. The all pervading feature of the Lord, which exists in all circumstances of waking and sleeping, as well as in potential states, and from which the Jiva Shakti, living force, is generated as both conditioned and liberated souls, is known as Brahman. Since the Lord is the origin of both Paramatma and Brahman, he is the origin of all living entities and all else that exists. One who knows this engages himself at once in the devotional service of the Lord. Such a pure and fully cognizant devotee of the Lord is fully attached to him in heart and soul, and whenever such a devotee assembles with similar devotees, they have no engagement but the glorification of the Lord's transcendental activities. Those who are not as perfect as the pure devotees, namely, those who have realized only the Brahman or Paramatma features of the Lord, cannot appreciate the activities of the perfect devotees. The Lord always helps the pure devotees by imparting necessary knowledge within their hearts, and thus, out of His special favor, He dissipates all the darkness of ignorance. The speculative philosophers and yogis cannot imagine this because they more or less depend on their own strength. As stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.23, the Lord can be known only by those whom he favors and not by anyone else. Such special favors are bestowed upon his pure devotees only. Sri Ishopanishad thus points to the favor of the Lord, which is beyond the purview of the Brahma Jyoti. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So we are reading Mantra 16 of Sri Ishopanishad, and here the devotee is continuing to offer prayer to the Supreme Lord, saying that, O Lord, I want to see your Rupam Kalyanatamam. I want to see the most auspicious form of your Lordship, which is right now covered by the glaring effulgence of your body. Kindly remove that tejaha, samoha tejaha. Please remove that tejaha, that effulgence which is covering your beautiful face. I want to see your beautiful face. Please remove that form, remove that effulgence. That is the prayer in continuation with the previous mantra, the 15th mantra. So, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that the Paramatma and Brahman both are emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan is the ultimate realization, complete realization of the Absolute Truth. Brahman and Paramatma are partial realizations. This we have been discussing many times. And here, Prabhupada is explaining the difference between Atma and Paramatma. There are many philosophers who say that both Atma and Paramatma are one and the same. They are one single entity, but that's not a fact. If that was a fact, then there was no necessity for using two terms, Atma and Paramatma. When there are two names, it means there are two different entities. Atma is the individual Jivatma, individual soul, who is forced by the laws of karma to accept a new material body one after the other. Whereas the Paramatma is the Supreme Lord. Param means the Supreme, the greatest. Param Atma, the greatest of all the personalities. So Paramatma is Super Soul, and he is not under the influence of the laws of karma. In fact, he is the controller of the material laws. So Paramatma is the controller and the Atma is the controlled. Therefore, they are in different categories. They are not one and the same. And Paramatma is the constant companion of the Lord, of the living entity. This is also another important point. Constant companion. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am your eternal well wisher. And Srila Prabhupada explains this Krishna being our eternal well wisher. How do we know? He is present in our heart constantly. So within our body, there are two souls. One is the individual soul, the Jivatma, ourselves. And along with us, besides us, there is the Paramatma also. So this Paramatma is the expansion of the Supreme Lord, and he is the localized aspect of the Absolute Truth who is present in every living entity's heart. Now, what is the Paramatma doing there? Paramatma is witnessing our activities, he is sanctioning our desires, he is giving us the required intelligence, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And every time we change from one body to another body, Paramatma also accompanies us. Paramatma also accompanies. Who can be a better friend than the Paramatma? If you have a friend, he may be with you in some circumstances. He may not be there with you in some other circumstances because he is limited. He can be with you in some places, he cannot be there with you in some other places. In some places, you have to be alone. For example, if you have to go and write an exam, or if you have to go and face an interview, you cannot tell your best friend that you also come with me. You should also come with me for this exam because you are my best friend, no? You said, ye dosuti hum nahi todenge. You said you will not break your friendship with me. Now I'm going through a tough time, this exam or this interview. You should also come with me to the examination hall. Can that friend come? He cannot come. Why? Because even if he wants to come, he is not allowed. He will not be allowed inside the examination hall just because he is your friend. Can he come and sit with you and answer your questions along with you? No. That will amount to malpractice and you will be in big trouble. But here is one friend who is constantly there with you. Not only in this lifetime, but life after life. He is constantly there with you. And he is eagerly waiting when this person will turn towards me. And that is the Paramatma. So, Paramatma is the constant companion of the living entity. There cannot be a better friend to us than the Paramatma who is accompanying us always, who is always with us. So he is our Ajnata Sakha. Bhagavatam says the Paramatma is the Ajnata Sakha. Ajnata means unknown, Sakha means friend. He is the unknown friend. Why he is the unknown friend? Because we don't make an attempt to know him. We are only busy making friends on Facebook, on Instagram, we chat. We are busy making friends in this world, thinking that these sakhas, these friends will help us in all circumstances. But there is one friend who is already waiting, who is there in your heart. He is waiting for us, but we are not at all interested to even know him. Therefore, he is called Ajnata Sakha, unknown friend. He is our unknown friend, Paramatma in the heart. So we have to turn our face towards him. Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am seated in your heart as Paramatma. What you should do? Tameva Sharanam Gacha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. O Bharata, O son of Bharata, Arjuna, Tameva Sharanam Gacha. Surrender utterly unto him. Sarva Bhavena Bharata. With full feelings, you have to surrender to him. Surrender to me. I am situated in your heart. Why don't you turn towards me? Katha Upanishad also gives the example. On a tree, there are two birds sitting besides each other on a branch. One tree is busy eating the fruits of the one bird is busy eating the fruits of the tree, while the other bird is simply watching. He is waiting. When this fruit eating bird will turn towards his companion, his friend, I'm seated here, he is not at all interested in me. In other words, a devotee is one who has established his connection with the Paramatma in the heart. How does this happen? Paramatma, the Lord, is situated in our heart, but we do not know. He is Ajnata to us, He is unknown to us. Therefore, the Lord sends a pure devotee spiritual master. And when we follow the instructions of the pure devotee spiritual master, he helps us connect with the Paramatma inside our heart. So, this pure devotee spiritual master, he is the external manifestation of the Paramatma. And the Paramatma is called the Guru within, the Chaitya Guru. Chaitya means the Guru within our Chitta, Chaitya, Guru. So, both the Chaitya Guru is playing the role of directing us to the external Guru, and the external Guru is doing the playing the role of guiding us back to linking us to the Chaitya Guru. So, in this way, by the combined efforts of the external manifestation of the bona fide spiritual master and the Chaitya Guru, the Paramatma within, the soul can reach its perfection, can reach its destination. So it is the combined effort of the Guru and the Paramatma to guide the wandering soul back to Godhead. This is the one line summary of the entire spiritual process. So just like Srila Prabhupada says, you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and when the moment you start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Paramatma within your heart will become very active. He will start giving you all the instructions that are required for you to cross over the obstacles of this material existence and go back to Krishna. Krishna personally says this in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, shloka number 10. Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So one who is with great determination serving me, I give them the intelligence by which he can come back to me. So the constant companion Paramatma plays an active role in the life of a devotee. The moment a person becomes a devotee, starts chanting the holy names, the Paramatma within will start becoming active, because he now sees that this fruit-eating bird is now taking interest in me. All this while, from many lifetimes, I have been waiting when this fellow will turn his face towards me. Now he is chanting my holy names. That means now he has started showing interest in me. So now let me guide him further how to make spiritual advancement. So Paramatma becomes active in the life of a sincere devotee. He will start guiding the soul, what one should do, what one should not do, so that one can make spiritual advancement and go back to the spiritual world. So therefore, that is the function of the Paramatma, to guide the wandering souls. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. In the 18th chapter, Krishna says about Paramatma that the Supreme Lord is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, and he is guiding the wanderings of all the conditioned souls through their many, many lifetimes. So this body is compared to a yantra given to us by Maya. We are all riding this yantra, this vehicle, and the Lord is seated along with us. He is eagerly waiting us to turn our face towards him. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness is meant for us to look within, observe our constant companion, reconnect with him. That is the point that Srila Prabhupada is saying here. Because the Paramatma fully cooperates with the Atma, he is known as the constant companion of the living being. How does the Paramatma cooperate with the Atma? Whatever desire the Atma desires, Paramatma fulfills that desire. Without the sanction of the Paramatma, the Jiva cannot fulfill any of his desires. If we want to see something, first Paramatma has to see. Only then we can see. If we have to smell something, the Paramatma has to smell. Only then we can smell. That means that every moment in our life, we are actually dependent on the intervention of the Paramatma within our heart. So, but we are so much ignorant that we are not caring for the Lord seated within our heart. Instead, we are searching for friends online, on Facebook, on all such places. The greatest friend, our constant companion, is Paramatma. So by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you are connecting with the Paramatma, with the Lord in the heart. And that's how the Lord will start guiding the conditioned souls. So externally, one must take instruction from the bona fide spiritual master, take those instructions very seriously, and apply them in their day-to-day lives. And when this is observed by the Paramatma, the Chaitya Guru within, then he will give more and more, he will reveal more and more instructions from within so that we can make our progress towards the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. That is why it is said, Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. We get the seed of devotional service by the combined mercy of Guru and Krishna. Krishna, who is seated in our heart, and the Guru, who is the external manifestation of the Paramatma. So, only a devotee of the Supreme Lord can be in direct touch with the Paramatma within the heart. That is why Krishna is saying in the 6th chapter, verse number 47, Yoginam abhi sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, he who is always engaged in my transcendental service with great faith, such a person is most intimately united with me in yoga. So if we want to connect with the Paramatma in the heart, we have to simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to engage in devotional service, beginning with Shravanam and Kirtanam, as per the instructions of Guru Sadhu Shastra. Then our relationship with the Paramatma within the heart becomes more and more intimate, more and more strong. So, Prabhupada is concluding this purport by saying that the all pervading feature of the Lord, which exists in all circumstances of waking and sleeping, as well as in potential states, and from which the Jiva Shakti, living force, is generated as both conditioned and liberated souls, is known as Brahman. So Prabhupada is giving a definition for Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman is the all pervading feature of the Lord. We have discussed this. And this feature exists in all circumstances of waking, sleeping, and potential states. So, whether the jiva is in wakeful state or in sleeping state, in whatever state it may be, the Lord's all pervading feature is present always. Brahman is present. And it is from this Jiva Shakti is generated. So both conditioned souls and liberated souls, they are coming from the Brahman. So that is called Brahman. So the Lord, the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, about whom we have discussed in the previous session, that Bhagavan is the original source of both Brahman and Paramatma. Now, how to know this Bhagavan? There's only one way. Krishna says, Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tattvataha. There is only one way in which one can know Bhagavan, one can relate with Bhagavan, that is through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Only through the process of Bhakti Yoga, one can understand Krishna, one can see Krishna, one can talk to Krishna, one can become an associate of Krishna. Right? So Prabhupada is saying, one who knows this, that Bhagavan is the origin of both Paramatma and Brahman, he engages himself at once in the devotional service of the Lord. Such a pure and fully cognizant devotee of the Lord is fully attached to him in heart and soul. And whenever such a devotee assembles with similar devotees, they have no engagement but the glorification of the Lord's transcendental activities. So when the pure devotees meet, what do? They are always interested to glorify the Lord. As Krishna reveals in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, my devotees, when they meet, what they do? Bodayantaha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So Krishna says that my devotees, they have given their heart and soul to me, and when they meet the other devotees, they have no other engagement other than discussing about me, conversing about me, enlightening each other about me, glorifying me. So when do you know whether you have met a real devotee or not? Prabhupada says you cannot see a devotee through your eyes, but you have to see a devotee through your ears. one who is always engaged in glorifying the Lord and helping others remember the Lord, he is a devotee. So, therefore, the devotees have no other occupation, no other engagement other than glorifying the Lord in every circumstance. So, that is the meaning of being a devotee, and that is the way to know Bhagavan by glorifying Him in the parampara system. The glorification also has to be based on the parampara system. You cannot invent your own glorification. You have to glorify the Lord as it is described, as it is coming down in the parampara system. Hmm? So, those who are not, so that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam in the very beginning of the 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj says this, that Nivritta Tarshair Upagiyamana Bhavaushada Shrotra Manobhirama. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, those who are Nivritta Tarshaihi means those who are free from uh, material enjoyment tendencies. Those who have given up, those who are fully free from material desires. They are called Nivritta Tarshaihi. What do they do? These people who have become devotees, who have become fully free from materialistic desires, Nivritta Tarshaihi Upagiyamana. Giyamana means to glorify, to sing the glories. Gayana, Giyate, Giyamana. And how do they glorify? Upagiyamana. Upagiya means glorifying, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. That is Upa. The word Upa means to follow in the footsteps, in line with, that is the meaning of the word Upa. So Upagiyamana means those devotees who are fully free from all kinds of material desires, they do not invent their own glorification, but they glorify the Lord as per the parampara system. That is very important. So, in that way, if you follow in the footsteps of the previous devotees, previous acharyas, then it is possible to appreciate the Lord, to enter into a loving relationship with the Lord. Now, finally, Prabhupada is making a comparison of those who have realized Brahman, Paramatma, and the Lord. So, Prabhupada writes, those who are not as perfect as the pure devotees, namely those who have realized only the Brahman or Paramatma features of the Lord, cannot appreciate the activities of the perfect devotees. The Lord always helps the pure devotees by imparting necessary knowledge within their hearts, and thus, out of His special favor, He dissipates all the darkness of ignorance. So, those who are not pure devotees, that means those who are jnanis and yogis, those who have realized Brahman and Paramatma, they cannot understand the activities of perfect devotees, pure devotees. For them, it is very bewildering. They may think that a yogi, for example, might think that he is a great sense controller because he has mastered the breathing process. He has controlled his senses and mind. How can a householder, king, who is externally engaged in all materialistic affairs, how can he realize the absolute truth, which I have not realized myself? A yogi might be thinking like this. This is exactly what happened between Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni was a great yogi. He had many yoga siddhis. He had great control over his senses and mind. So he was very proud of his own yogic perfection. So he was thinking Ambarish Maharaj is after all a grihastha, after all a king who is always babbling with material resources, living amidst material riches. So he is no match to me. How can he become a famous person? I will not allow this. With that intention, Durvasa Muni comes to the palace of Ambarish Maharaj. But actually, little did Durvasa Muni know about the actual perfection of Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj, even though he was a Grahastha, even though he was a Kshatriya king, inferior According to social customs, he was inferior to Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was a Brahmana, he was a yogi. His position, according to social customs, is much superior to Ambarish Maharaja's position. But Durvasa Muni did not know that Ambarish Maharaj had engaged all his senses in the transcendental service of Krishna. Savai mana Krishna Padara Vindayoho Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. It is described in the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. One by one, starting with his mind, all the senses, Ambarish Maharaj engaged in Krishna's service. And Krishna was so pleased with the service of Ambarish Maharaj that Krishna had personally kept Sudarshana Chakra for the protection of Ambarish Maharaj. So, by pure devotional service, a devotee conquers the Supreme Lord out of love. The Supreme Lord is Bhakta Paradhina. Whereas a yogi, he has only realized the Paramatma, that too, just for the sake of some material benefits, he is meditating on the Paramatma. Therefore, his realization is incomplete. One might have become a great yogi, but he will also be very proud of his yogic perfections, like Durvasa Muni. Whereas Ambarish Maharaj, because he is always considering himself to be a servant of the Lord, servant of the devotees of the Lord, pride cannot enter into the heart of a pure devotee like Ambarish Maharaj. Even though he is situated materially in an inferior position to a yogi, therefore the Lord, he gets sold out by this attitude of selfless seva rendered by pure devotee, and he comes under the control of a pure devotee. Aham bhakta paradhinaha. The Supreme Lord said this to Durvasa Muni. When Durvasa Muni went to Vaikuntha Loka for seeking protection from Lord Vishnu from the Sudarshana Chakra which was chasing him, the Lord said, I am very sorry, O Durvasa Muni, even though I am the Supreme Lord, I am not independent. I am fully under the control of the love of my pure devotees. I am very sorry, I cannot stop Sudarshana. I cannot help you in this connection. Better you go and fall at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, beg forgiveness from him. Only then you will get relief from this blazing fire of Sudarshana. So through this incident, the Lord is teaching a very important lesson. A person may be a great yogi, great jnani, but he is not superior to a devotee. A devotee, a pure devotee who has completely surrendered to the Lord, he brings the Lord under his control by his pure love and devotion and surrender. So this is a very important lesson for us to read, for us to understand. So therefore, the speculative philosophers and yogis cannot imagine this because they more or less depend on their own strength. The jnanis and yogis are very proud because they think they have attained realizations because of their own strength. Whereas the pure devotees, they are always dependent on the Lord, they are dependent on the Lord's mercy, they have no faith on their own personal strengths and endeavors. This pleases the Lord. This is what pleases the Lord and brings the Lord under their control. So finally, this mantra, the 16th mantra of Isopanishad, is teaching us that the highest perfection can be attained only by the process of pure devotional service. We have to go beyond the Brahman and Paramatma and see the smiling face of the Supreme Lord. And that is the highest perfection of realizing the absolute truth. So beyond Brahman and Paramatma, there is the loving person, Bhagavan, with whom we have to establish a loving relationship. That is what this Krishna consciousness process is all about. So should we go through the step-by-step process of first getting Brahman realization, then Paramatma realization, then we should go to Bhagavan? Not necessary. Krishna consciousness is directly aimed at realizing Bhagavan. So therefore, we simply have to follow the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, chant the holy names of the Lord, and we can establish ourselves in loving relationship with Krishna. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. So there are two more mantras in Ishopanishad, mantra 17 and 18. We will discuss mantra 17 in the next session. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please stay online. We will be chanting the shlokas from the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita shortly.